Hello folks, it's Eamon McAuley here, ex-pro fighter, Belfast boxing historian, back with another wee chat about boxing. Around April 1985 I was in the English semi-finals of the ABAs and it was held up in a leisure centre in Gloucester. I was in the draw with Carl Crook, Lee Amos and Neil Haddock. Neil was Welsh, but because he was in the armed forces at the time, he was able to box as an English representative. The one I wanted to avoid was Lee Amos, as he had knocked out the well-fancied Ivan Camp, but Amos was the one I got. We were all in this leisure centre for quite some time. I noticed this particular guy who was taking a lot to do with things. Then the penny dropped. I recognised this guy who actually worked in the leisure centre as a boxer. I knew and had watched on TV some years previously. It was Pete Hanlon. Pete had went to the 1980 Moscow Olympics representing the GB. I also remember my friend Barry McGuigan in the 100th year centenary of the ABAs beating Pete quite convincingly, and what was a highly anticipated fight, only for McGuigan to get robbed in the final against Scotland's Eamon McAuley. Hanlon had beat McAuley in a box-off to go to the Olympics. Pete was thrilled that I recognised him, and we really hit it off. I was so much into boxing then, and I remember watching the McGuigan-Hanlon fight on TV. Talking to Pete helped pass the time. I remember he was working and he would go off to do his duties, then come back and chat with me. He was delighted that somebody had recognised him. I stopped Amos in the third and Hanlon gave me a big hug, and that's all I can remember. Barry McGuigan was my friend, and he tried to help me in my professional career. We were friends for over 30 years. I even stayed in his house in Faversham, Kent in 1991. We would swap texts and occasionally he would ring me up. I liked Barry and I got on with Barry. One time he sent me a photo of him surrounded by all his children and grandchildren. I was having a few drinks when this photo arrived on my WhatsApp. It was a truly beautiful photo. Barry then text, "Do you have any grandchildren, Eamon?" And I text back, "No, Barry, but sure, rub it in." Barry texts back, "Really, Eamon? Goodbye." Even though I was half drunk, it suddenly dawned on me that I had offended Barry. I didn't mean to. Honestly, I didn't mean to. In my drunkenness, I thought it was just a joke, but it was insensitive and offensive. Barry had just buried his daughter Danica a few years previous. I was horrified and tried to ring him back, but he had blocked me. I sent a few texts to apologise, but I have heard nothing from Barry in over 2 years. Since then, I have read Carl Frampton's book, etc. But instead of having to go at Barry, I need to take responsibility for my own actions. As a man of God, Barry, I never really thought it through. Really, I didn't mean to hurt you or offend you. I wasn't being pernicious or nasty. Honestly, I wasn't. In my drunken state, I thought what I said was funny. I made a mistake. All I'm asking from you, Barry, is your forgiveness. That's all. Folks, I put the Hanlon McAuley fights with Barry on YouTube quite some years ago, so they're there to watch. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care and God bless. Speak to you soon.